Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to clutch out more games here in Season 10. So I'm going to be giving you guys some tips that you guys can use to help you guys win a lot more games when it comes to, towards the end of the game. And also when it comes to gunfights to allow you to win a lot more and also a lot easier. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to my second channel. The link for that will be in the description or the pinned comment. Turn on my post notifications and as well comment down below your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys would like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go over to the item shop, go down to support a creator, type in my code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. I really do appreciate all you guys who do add me. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be talking about some different ways that you can clutch up your games a lot easier here in Fortnite. And as well how to stop choking in the majority of your gunfights. There's a few things I want to be talking about in this video that I know can help you guys out a ton. So the first thing that I think can help you guys out the most when you're going into gunfights specifically, and just really the best way to go about not choking and pretty much selling out every fight that you go into. And I feel like the main reason why, because I think that's really important to kind of figure out exactly why you're choking, because I think that really does help when it comes to the solution and getting better. And I feel like the reason most people choke in their gunfights is maybe they're going up against a better player and they're forced to play a little bit faster, or they're just getting a little bit nervous in their fight because maybe they're low on HP. Maybe they know they have no materials. Maybe you're going up against an insanely good player that they just like to sweat as much as possible. So with all those things in mind, when you do going against those type of players and you're not feeling 100% about your mat count, your HP, or that you're going against a really good player, then you're going to be playing a little bit different than what you're used to, because you're going to have to play a little bit faster, or you're going to have to play a little bit smarter to try to win in that gunfight, which can really cause you to lose a lot of those gunfights because you're going to be playing in a different way that you normally didn't. It's like going into a build fight and having to do like a building technique that you've only practiced maybe like once or twice in creative. Chances are you're going to mess it up and it's just not going to end very well, and you're probably going to end up losing that gunfight. But if you have to do something that you know you've done like 10,000 times, like 90s, and that's just like a building example, but I'm talking about maybe like in a gunfight, maybe you have to hit a quick flick shot because maybe the guy jumped to your side, or maybe they hit you with a headshot with the pumps, they hit you for 150 damage. Maybe you did expect to get hit, but maybe not for that much damage. So different situations like that can cause you to miss a lot of your shots and choke in gunfights. But I think one of the easiest ways to win a lot more gunfights that a lot of people really aren't talking about, that I think can win you way more gunfights than any sort of improvement to your game, is just simply focusing on the things that you're already extremely good at. So if you're extremely good at aiming or extremely good at building, having gunfights that mainly focus on accuracy, and that could really be different because there is a lot of building in Fortnite, but maybe you focus on a little bit more range, staying back a little bit more. Maybe you focus on hitting shots from low ground. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but you want to challenge gunfights in a way that the best person or whoever has the best aim is going to win that gunfight, if aiming is your thing. And if you're the best at building, then you want to have gunfights or build fights that give you the best chance and the best builds, because you know you can win when it comes to going for high ground. You know you can win when it comes to trapping the other player. So just different things like that, and just focusing on those specific things can give you the best advantage possible. And someone like myself, I'm probably like I would say a better than average, but I'm not like crazy good. But my aim, I feel like my accuracy is a lot better than most of the players that I go against in gunfights. So for me, that's probably the number one thing that I focus on when I go into fights. And as well, I play a little bit faster, so I'm pretty good at aiming, and I play way faster, when it comes to going for shots, and I hit a lot of different angles that people usually don't shoot at. So just those few things alone give me the best advantage possible. So when I'm going into a gunfight, those are the things I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to focus on trying to outbuild the other player or focus on something that I know I'm not as good at. Unless, of course, I'm trying to improve, because that is a really good way to improve. This is just practice things you're not as very good at, but I'm talking about you want to win that gunfight right there, and this is the gunfight you need to win. So when it comes to that fight, I'm going to be focusing on and giving myself the best advantage possible by only focusing on the things that I'm very, very good at. And for me, like I said, playing a lot faster and hitting my shots. So those two things alone, I'm going to be focusing on the very most. And of course, not every gunfight is going to be like that. That's why you do have to focus on other areas of your game, like building, maybe decision making, different things like that. So you also do have to improve other aspects, as you can't have the perfect situation every single fight. But if you are very smart about the way you play and the way you approach gunfights, I would say at least 60 to 70% of the fights you go against, you can really have it the way you want, and you can have the position you want as long as you play that gunfight very smart and you go into it knowing exactly what you want to do. I feel like you can have such a major advantage doing so. So like I said, about 60% to 70% of gunfights you would probably stop losing if you mainly just focus on trying to have that gunfight the way you want it. Like when it comes to accuracy, when it comes to maybe a build off, maybe you're really good at winning those. So you focus on those type of things, and that alone can win you so many more gunfights than just trying to focus on improving everything else at once. So when it comes to clutching up at the late part of the game, so specifically talking about the end game, and so I've been playing a lot more arena, and when it comes to the end of the game, it really has to do with pubs as well. There's really only two ways, or two best ways to go about the end of the game, otherwise you really have a major disadvantage. So the first way that you can have the best possible advantage at the late part of the game, as you guys probably already know, and that's just going to be to have high ground. So especially when you're playing arena, this is something that I noticed when I played just something as simple as zone wars. If you have height above everyone else, then especially now because there's no rift to goes or anything like that, you can just rift above. I mean, you do have launch pads, but it is very risky. Most people, you don't use launch pads to do that at the very end of the game, especially because there's just so many builds everywhere and it's so easy to get shot out of the air that it's just not even worth it, and it's probably a bad idea if you end up deciding to do that either way. So that's just not a go-to move to use a launch pad, and there's no rift, so getting high ground is going to be very difficult. So if you are on high ground, you're above everyone else. No one else is going to get above you, but there is nothing to like catch or fall like gliders or anything. But a lot of times when you are up that high, especially in a game like arena, there's so many builds connected that you're just not going to get shot out. It's just going to be way too hard, especially if you build right, you're not going to get shot out whatsoever. So you don't have to really worry about that at all. So having high ground really is going to give you the best point of view, because you're going to get the most kills, take the least amount of damage, probably use the least amount of mats, because when you're on the ground, having the tunnel and build your way through, you are burning through way more mats than if you were just above building your floors and pyramids. So you're burning a lot more mats being on the ground, so you're saving mats, taking less damage, and because no one really focuses on you. When you're on high ground, no one ever focuses on. Everyone focuses on the one player that's the easiest to kill. So the guy at the bottom who's in the middle of the open with no mats, that's who everyone's going to be focusing on and killing first. So the second way that you can have a major advantage, so if you're not able to get high ground, which a lot of times it's going to be very difficult, because a lot of super try-hard players are going to be, trying to fight for the high ground, because it is the best position to have, especially in that late game in arena, and also pubs too, but especially arena when there's so many different players. Having high ground is the best advantage. But another really good way is you have to stay close to the edges, because you never want to be anywhere where you can get shot from multiple different directions, because when you're on the edge of the zone, edge of the circle, the only directions you can get shot at are pretty much in front of you and maybe the sides. So for instance, if you're in the middle, you can get shot from pretty much every single direction. But if you're on the edge, the only people that can shoot you are the people who are going to be, at least in front of you in a way, maybe a little bit to your side, but pretty much everyone that's going to be shooting at you is going to be coming from one direction, not like every single direction. So by playing the edges, you're going to minimize the chances of getting shot from all those directions, so that it kind of marks off an angle or two from other players. So playing on the edges are going to be probably the second best way to go, because there's nothing really else. So either, because being on the very ground really doesn't help you out too much, because when it comes to rotating, if there's a ton of brick and a ton of metal, it can be very difficult to rotate all the way around because there's so many different things that are breaking, when the zone comes in. So that can be very difficult as well. So having the high ground and then also playing the edges are going to be the two very best way to clutch out that late part of the game and get yourself a lot more wins. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.